In the world of power, control, and influence, silence is not weakness, it is a weapon. Disrespect, to a man of strategy, is never to be met with emotional outbursts or impulsive retaliation. Instead, it is to be observed, measured, and most importantly, remembered. This is the essence of Machiavellian's law. When disrespected, say nothing, but remember everything. The average man responds to disrespect with reactive emotion. He argues, he defends, he tries to reclaim dignity through loud declarations. But in doing so, he loses more than just face. He loses control. He shows his emotional investment. He proves that the other person has power over him. And worst of all, he plays a game of weakness by engaging. Machiavelli understood this deeply. In The Prince, and even more so through his unspoken principles, he knew that those who win in the long game of life are those who don't just act, they calculate. Silence is not absence. It is a strategy. It is a trap. It is the sharpening of the blade in the dark. Let us dissect and unfold this brutal truth of power. Why silence after disrespect is the most dangerous form of retaliation, how it reclaims dominance, and how it becomes your most powerful response in a world that constantly tries to provoke you. The nature of disrespect. Disrespect is rarely random. It is always a signal, a test, a challenge, a probing strike. Whether in relationships, the workplace, social circles, or online interactions, when someone disrespects you, they are watching your reaction. They are studying your boundaries. They are evaluating your value. Most men don't realize this. They take it personally. They shout. They over-explain. They seek justice in a world that rewards dominance, not fairness. But those who understand human nature know this. Your reaction determines your value. If you flinch, they know they can provoke you. If you bark, they know you can be baited. If you crumble, they know you're weak. But if you stay quiet, truly quiet, without flinching, without explaining, without even acknowledging their attempt, then something terrifying happens. You become unreadable. You become dangerous. You become power incarnate. Why silence is dominance. In the Machiavellian world, power isn't declared, it's perceived. A man who stays silent after being disrespected doesn't show restraint. He shows control. People don't respect noise. They respect mystery. They fear what they can't read. When you go silent, the disrespecter becomes uncomfortable. They begin to question their move. They wonder what you're thinking. They anticipate retaliation, but none comes. This creates psychological tension. You've taken back power without saying a single word. You've communicated without expression, and you've shifted the weight of shame, not onto you, but onto them. They want a reaction. They got a mirror instead. The weakness of speaking too soon. The moment you react emotionally, you've lost. You've proven that they own space in your mind. You've handed them leverage. You play by their rules. But when you say nothing, when you withhold not just words but energy, time, and attention, you fracture their illusion of control. It's not about being passive. It's about being deliberate. Speaking too soon exposes your feelings, your plans, your cards. Remaining silent forces the world to wonder what your next move is. Machiavelli warned rulers to be both lion and fox, strong and clever. But the fox never roars. He observes. He lets others speak. He lets them reveal. And then, when the time is right, he strikes with precision, not noise. Disrespect is a gift to the strategic man. Every time someone disrespects you, they're giving you a map of their insecurity. They're telling you what provokes them, what they assume about you, what they're willing to risk, what they want from you. Most men throw the map away. They respond with ego and forget the lesson. But the Machiavellian man studies the pattern. He collects data. He watches. He remembers. You don't react. You record. Because revenge isn't loud. Revenge is remembered. And the ultimate revenge isn't destruction, it's elevation. When you elevate in silence, they choke on your growth. Imagine being disrespected publicly, mocked, underestimated, humiliated. Now imagine saying nothing, disappearing, and returning later in undeniable success, strength, or power. The same people who mocked you now have to witness your rise. But you don't acknowledge them. You don't retaliate. You don't offer even a glance. That silence is deafening. That growth is revenge. That Machiavellian silence becomes the lesson. Because when you win loudly but never engage, you crush them spiritually. You don't destroy them. You make them destroy themselves. Through comparison, through regret, through shame. Silence is not passive. It's tactical. Do not confuse silence with weakness. Weak men are silent because they fear confrontation. Powerful men are silent because they choose when to confront. They decide if it's worth it. Most times, it isn't. Machiavelli taught that energy must be preserved, not scattered. If every insult demands your attention, you're no longer a man of value. You're a man of reaction, and reaction is the opposite of control. In this, you become untouchable. They call you names, you smile. They mock your failures, you sharpen your plan. They question your strength, you build in silence. And when the moment is right, you don't announce your return. You arrive and change the atmosphere. In relationships, silence after disrespect is power. In romantic relationships, the Machiavellian principle is even more potent. When a woman disrespects you, tests you, belittles you, withdraws affection to provoke, you must not chase. Chasing is noise. Explaining is noise. Begging is noise. But silence is rebellion. When you walk away, mentally or physically, when you withdraw not just attention but emotional access, she feels the void. Women know the weight of silence. It stings more than words. It cuts deeper than arguments. Because in silence, there's no room for manipulation, no opportunity for validation. Only distance, only reflection, only your absence. And absence creates value. The world respects the unmoved man. Everyone is trying to trigger you. Politicians, celebrities, bosses, lovers, friends, enemies. Why? Because control over your emotions is control over your actions. And control over your actions is control over you. The unmoved man terrifies them because he can't be provoked. He decides. He responds with intention or doesn't respond at all. And that silence forces people to reevaluate. It makes them wonder, did I go too far? What is he planning? Why isn't he reacting? What does he know that I don't? Silence creates mystery, and mystery is leverage. Mastering the art of strategic silence. To truly master this law, you must practice emotional control, patience, observation, long-term thinking. You must detach your ego from the moment and attach it to the mission. You must value winning the war, not every battle. Let others shout. Let others rage. Let others prove themselves. You prove nothing. You remember everything. And when the moment comes, you execute with precision. No warning. No explanation. Just a quiet correction to their mistake. The final word, silence, is a mirror. Machiavelli believed that people expose themselves. You don't need to dig deep. They'll show you who they are if you let them talk. Silence is the mirror that reflects their own ugliness. After disrespect, don't throw insults. Don't make speeches. Don't fight for your honor. Withdraw, reflect, watch, and rise. Because the loudest revenge is the one delivered in silence. This is Machiavellian's law. This is power. This is the Machiavelli guide. Watch them choke on the silence you left behind. And never forget, say nothing, but remember everything.